Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway, because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome into episode 97 of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She is Julie Dobbs. And one quick note.
Yeah.
I shot car commercials yesterday with our fine friends at Gateway Buick GMC.
Okay.
And I did 2 commercials in Espanol.
Did you?
I did. It was very intimidating, but I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, they were written out.
Okay.
But even though they're written out, like on a little whiteboard.
You still have to speak it, and they're going to broadcast it
Yes.
to people that will know if it's
Yep. And so
botched.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And especially because we're in the dealership and people are working or having their car repaired or serviced. And then here I am yelling these commercials
in the middle of the dealership.
In Spanish,
Oh my
knowing I probably sound like an idiot. But I was really proud of myself, and it made me think of so many baseball players that I've covered over the years that have made their way to this country from another country. And I always tell them, it's so, even if, because they get intimidated because you're like,
it's like they think they can speak it okay, but put a camera in their face and they freak.
Yes,
Not
put
freak,
a camera in their face,
nervous.
but it's just, to where it's like, I just don't want to say something wrong or sound dumb
Same
or
with
whatever.
NHL guys.
Yeah.
From other places.
Right. And it's like, and I always tell our guys, and I'm like, let me tell you something. People will appreciate the fact that you are making an effort to learn another language that's not your own. And I said, so don't ever let that get in your head, even though it's impossible for it not to. And so I kind of had a small taste of what those guys go through. Like, God, it is. I mean, and I had the words freaking written out for me. You know what I mean? I was just speaking it, just reading, basically.
And you've been working on it for a while. It's not like you were just plopped here like they are sometimes, and they're like, here, can you try to learn this language and do this interview?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
So anyway, I was proud of myself.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see if anyone, sees them and then gives me feedback.
So they'll just air some English and then some Spanish?
So I'm guessing that the Spanish ones will be targeted on,
certain areas.
Well, or like Univision or Spanish speaking channels, right? I don't know.
That would make sense.
Would make sense. I mean, I don't know if they're going to just
throw it out there.
Who knows though? Maybe they will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forgot about those whole Spanish speaking
Right.
channels.
There's like a whole group of channels.
I don't really watch them.
Right. But you know what? Okay, that's another thing. So so many guys have told me when I'm trying to learn Spanish and I'm getting closer, but they're like, watch telenovelas. And a lot of guys will tell you that's how they learned English is watching soap operas.
Really?
Swear to God. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So yeah. So anyway, just a whole side note.
I wonder why.
I love our Gateway Buick GMC folks and the fact that they had enough faith in me to let me speak English.
Did you
on
suggest
commercials.
it?
Okay, so Charles Cooksey, who is the GM there, came to me and was like, "Hey, what if we found someone who could speak Spanish, maybe with baseball ties or whatever?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I speak Spanish." And he's like, "You're kidding?" And I was like, "I mean, that's very loose, very, very loose term, speak Spanish." But I was like, I would be comfortable doing a couple of commercials in Spanish. And so he was like, okay. So they wrote them up for me. And like I said, I was just reading, but maybe this is my first step because, one of my bucket list items is to be able to do an interview in
good.
Spanish and translate it with a Spanish speaking player.
Good for you. That's awesome. Can we see it?
Maybe I'll see if I can get a copy.
See if you can get a copy and we can
like
break it down. Tell us straight.
Let's not. There's no need for that. But yeah. So anyway, so
good for you.
Thanks.
I don't think I've done anything cool.
But how have you been doing on your like healthy? I mean, because it's like we're shooting on the 19th, which happy birthday to my lovely, wonderful husband, by the way.
Today?
Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike. Thanks for putting up with
Emily. Please. Amen to that.
Saying Mary.
I mean,
all the things.
All the things. So I feel like this is usually the time people are like, I wasn't really so bad before New Year's. Like, I mean, not saying that we're encouraging that, but I mean, I know that one of your things was like to do healthy, be healthy.
Yeah, I've done pretty well with it. I'm learning, like, as far as working out, like I have a big variety of things that I do. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you do, just do something.
Move.
So like a couple days a week it's tennis. This morning I only had time for like a 20-minute bar class on Peloton, but it's like hardcore specialized workout. So I felt like I got something out of it. It's yoga. Once I can teach my dog to walk, which I was trying to do this morning, we had a little training session. I'll take her around the block for a walk, whatever it is.
What is a training session for a dog to go walk?
Did you not have to do these? Like, is this just my breed? It's like training
you get when you pay big bucks for a dog. See, I get these rescues and they just go wherever I tell them to go.
The rescues are better, more well behaved. I don't know.
I've only had one puppy, honestly.
Yeah,
but she knew how to walk.
Well,
like how to go on a walk.
Like not freak out being on a leash and not try to bite the leash and not run around in circles.
I say this.
Yeah.
She'll pull the shit out of me consistently.
Yeah.
But she knows that she's got the walking part down. The well-behaved, no.
But it's like heel, right? Teaching heel so they actually stay next to you.
Yeah, or you
just
yank the shit out of their leash until they stop.
That wasn't in my training manual.
It's not in the training manual. And I don't yank her neck off, but I'm like, dude, the reason you're like is because you're pulling on this leash.
Yeah. So
when is this gonna add up in your head?
Yeah.
But no, I run her almost every morning, unless it's
you throw the ball or
freezing.
Something.
No, she goes with me on part of my run.
With you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not on the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
because
on
I'm learning that it's like the second they wake up, they need to go outside and do something. And then I've also had issues with her pottying. Like I'll be like, okay, let me grab my coat. She's already peed. Like when she wakes up, she's got to go immediately. Really? Like right when and so I'll carry her. I'm like, don't pee. But
I don't envy that.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's fun. She's so sweet. It's really fun.
They're fun.
Yeah. So back to your question. Like, yes, I feel like it's going pretty well. I still like splurge on certain things. And when I watched the Cowboy game, which we can get into, it's like I have this like certain vision of how I want to watch a game, and that involves like shit to eat.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I'm gonna have like a few drinks and then my love dip, which that Central Market love dip. Oh my god. Maybe that could be one of my next mom minutes.
It is good.
Except it's not healthy.
No.
So it shouldn't be a mom minute. We'll have to talk about our mom minutes.
Not everything can be healthy.
Right. But I think I only want to recommend things on there that's like, it's almost like a win because it tastes so good and you're not,
right,
gonna feel bad about it the next day. So I introduced it. Let's tell everybody about our mom minutes because I'm kind of excited about these.
Okay.
We did our first mom minute. It's going to be just a social media initiative because our shows come out, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, we kind of wanted one more thing that people can count on, which will be us talking about something that has really helped our life or something we just want to get off of our chest, something that's bothering us. You go on a little rant or you can rave about something or a mom hack. So I already have like some piling up and I think I'm just going to maybe record them as I go. Like if something happens and I'm like, it's hot on my mind.
Yeah.
And then save it, because
I already know. Yeah. Of course yours is a rant, like giving love to something. And then mine is like, I'm going to be bitching about something.
You mean a rave for me?
Oh, right. Rave. Yeah. That's what I meant.
And then yours
mine will be a rant. My first rave. Rant. Just because something happened that not pissed me off, but frustrated me. And I was like, okay, this is perfect.
Yeah.
To do.
Okay, good.
And it's about people who want advice about this industry. And then they ask you a question like, what's your job like? And I wanted to be like, Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Save it for your rant.
Well, but I mean, we can still talk about it here because
Yes.
those are just quick things.
Yes.
But yes, so I will address specifically in the my mom minute when I do it for the first time with my new ring light camera.
I know. I got one too.
Yeah, it is fancy. I was wondering why you chose because I saw your mom minute.
Well, why did you tell me this?
Well,
you're about to tell me something about how it didn't look good.
I'm saying, listen, we need to be able to talk about our things in front of our people.
You just want to save it for the camera.
Is that a bad thing that we're letting our audience in on our issues?
Yeah, I love being publicly ridiculed.
Me and my email cleanup. Listen, I've been there too. I'm just saying,
what did I do wrong?
What you didn't do, for the love of God, Julie, you didn't do anything wrong. But really?
Yell at me. She's so mean. Mike, how do you do this? Mike McCoy.
So frustrating. You're like, oh, poor me. Look at me. You're going to ridicule me. I'm not ridiculing you. But why the blinds?
See, you are ridiculing me.
I'm ridiculing your blinds. I'm not ridiculing you. I'm just saying.
My blinds are a part of me.
Oh my God. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a part of my whole aura.
This is the ultimate. Julie is the nice one, and Emily's the giant bitch. My blinds are a part of me.
What am I supposed to do? Open them?
No, because then that creates the backlight.
But remember, I was even thinking about this because I didn't want this to happen.
Ridiculed.
I didn't want to get ridiculed. When we did our After Dark, we sat right there and you picked that spot at my house.
But there was there was a flower of some sort and it was dark.
She's so mean.
Oh my God. You're worse than my fucking kids.
Well, I feel bad for them.
Oh, shut up. You feel bad. My blinds are a part of me.
Well, that was felt like I was doing good with that spot. The blinds just weren't pretty. So should I have opened it?
No, because then that creates the backlight. Okay. And so you've got the front light coming, so you don't need to worry about light. You just need to worry about some sort of background that's, appealing in some way. And I'm sorry if I'm ridiculing, but
at least they aren't my old blinds. Those are my new blinds, and it's a new window. I paid money for that shit.
Okay.
It's a nice window, they're nice blinds. They're those blinds that you can just push up without having to do anything. It looked like a little bit of a
hostage situation. I'm not going to lie.
I put on makeup.
You looked beautiful. This isn't about you.
Stop yelling.
This is about the effing blinds behind
you. I'm scared. Okay.
Sweet mother of Jesus.
Moving right along.
Oh God,
Emily, do you have pent up aggression because of the Cowboy game?
Because of the Cowboy game, because I breathe. No, yes, I was very disappointed in the Cowboy game.
I'm just saying.
I feel like everybody there's nothing wrong with letting out pent up aggression. And if you think this is me letting out,
she's still going
pent up aggression. And stop playing this poor little Julie.
Well, I'm not going to yell back.
I'm not. Oh my gosh, I'm not yelling. I'm just making a point. And it's almost like you're like my husband where you know how to jab me like this. And it's just you're poking.
Okay, but I was trying to transition to the Cowboys.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, the Cowboys suck. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Cowboys. Yeah. Because
okay, good.
They do suck.
Yes, they do.
It was just really, really overall disappointing. I was really excited.
Yep.
I was really excited from the beginning of this season. This team, they could have it. The defense is on fire. You have a new defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator that seem like they have things going in the right direction. You have some standout players that are emerging. Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons. Obviously, the offense was really clicking. There weren't any big gaping holes outside of maybe the offensive line, not really playing up to par, up to standards or their potential. But it felt like this could possibly be it. The first half of the season was good. And then all of a sudden, I guess it was right around the Dak injury. I don't know. He would never say or admit it, but things just kind of started to go the other direction. And they didn't look like a team that maybe could make it all the way to the Super Bowl. But they told you all the right things, oh, we're fine. You just wait. We're still winning games. Just wait till we get to the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. Well, they got to the playoffs this past weekend and they lost in the wild card round. Their season is over. The end of the game was kind of symbolic of the whole season. It seemed like they didn't know what they were doing. Calling that last play with the time winding down, quarterback draw where Dak then ran a few yards and then they ran out of time. So the whole thing to me is just, there's a little bit of two things. It's a little bit of same old, here we go again, but it's also extra disappointing because I felt like this team had a lot of potential, and they've got a whole lot of guys that are leaving probably in the offseason, including Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore. We'll see if they even stick around. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was a super shitty way to end the season. I guess at this point I'm so jaded that I don't put a lot of faith in them until they show me something different. But I mean, I was excited about this game, and I thought it was a really, really terrible way that it ended. And I think it keeps going back to, well, Jerry the GM, fire Jerry, or Jerry the owner, fire Jerry the GM, and whatever. I mean, it's just like it's almost like it's just exhausting to be a Cowboys fan.
So exhausting. And that was my other thing I was going to say is like.
And then you just get to the point where you're just like, I mean, whatever. I mean, okay, how else can we, talk about this Cowboys disappointment? What's the latest chapter in this Cowboys disappointment? And it sucks because I've been a fan of the Cowboys my entire life. And I would love for them to be good. It's not like I'm trying to be negative Nelly.
They were good. That's why it's like a little bit extra frustrating for me. It's like, this is a good team, but they couldn't do it when it mattered in the playoffs. Yeah. And now their season's done. And it's sad for Dak. We've both talked about on here how we like him. He's a good dude. You want good things for him. He seems like 100% the leader that the Cowboys need. But on the field just wasn't cutting it.
And then the post-game comments.
Yes. So it's funny because Dak never does that. A lot of the guys will get up there and say something like that's controversial or that they are going to regret. And Dak is really good about always saying the right things and just being really like candid with the media and opening his heart and all of that, and acting responsibly as the leader of the team. But after the game, he of course was asked about the fans throwing stuff onto the field, trying to hit the players. And then someone corrected him, right? And said, oh no, they were actually apparently trying to hit the referees. And Dak said, oh, good. Then that's what they should have.
Credit to them is what he said. Yeah, which is a terrible look. I don't know. I'm so exhausted. I don't know. Maybe I'm just exhausted in general. Pent-up aggression and exhaustion is setting in. I'm just so aggressive with this pent-up aggression. But I just I'm
going to ignore that.
I can't. Please don't. Actually, please don't. I just think, no.
I knew you weren't going to get over this.
Okay. Anyway, I just think the whole, making a huge deal out of it. Like, did he really mean yeah, go get him, throw bottles? But
no, but it was to me, it was like a little bit of his real thoughts that he accidentally said on the mic, right? He slipped from that,
but you know what? He's, in my opinion, he's built up enough cred and enough like that to where this isn't a repetitive behavior to where.
No. And I think he'll be forgiven.
I know, but I just feel it's been everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just and not even just everywhere, but over and over and over again. For example, on the ticket I was listening and they replayed the audio 800 times. And I was in every ticker and I'm like, okay, I get it, but it's what, if it bleeds, it leads. If it yells,
they're
it
under
sells.
directive for sure.
You have pent-up aggression
incessantly.
It's
about the Cowboys.
Yeah. Sometimes your pent-up aggression comes out against officials.
I heard you the first time. I heard you that was 3.
There'll be many more. You get out your tally sheet.
Your pent-up aggression can come out in various forms. So no, I'm also personally, selfishly, damn, I liked having something to look forward to watch, the rest of the NFL playoffs. I'm just kind of meh. I don't know. I don't know who I would even go for. The Cardinals lost out too. Arizona did.
Ooh, they got
Your boy
demolished.
Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, and they were someone that, like the Cowboys, my first thought when they lost is they're going to feel just as bad as Dallas about that loss in this season because they had potential too.
Wait, who?
Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
They had really good,
But dude, the Rams are fucking legit.
Yeah, true.
Legit. Matt Stafford is good. And you know who else is freaking great is Josh Allen. That dude can throw the whiz out of a football.
Yeah, he's good.
So I guess I'll go
came out of nowhere.
Obviously, I love Pat Mahomes because of the Texas Tech connection. So the Chiefs are kind of a natural choice. But also, too, for me, I think like you look at a guy like Matt Stafford, who's a local kid, been stuck in Detroit for his entire career, now finally has some talent around him. You'd like to see him do well. So
Yeah.
I'll find a rooting interest in, whatever happens. Or I'll just put some money on it.
Yeah, that's a good point about Matt Stafford. I hadn't thought about that. And maybe he'd come on the show.
I mean, if all else fails and you have no vested interest, just put $100 on it and it'll change things real fast.
Are you betting? Do you bet on these?
No, but I will. I mean, if I don't know. I mean,
if
not
someone
like
asks
huge,
you to,
but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it does make things a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
When you gamble.
The 5 teams
Not
that
that I
won
endorse
last
that.
weekend, the Bengals, the Bills, the Buccaneers, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Rams. The Bills and the Chiefs will play in one AFC divisional round game. The other matchup will be the Bengals at the Titans. That's
I like
Joe
the
Burrow,
Bengals,
though.
yeah.
And he's given Bengals fans, I know, some long-suffering Bengals fans who are real excited about this team. Scott Tomlin from the Dallas Mavericks, he's won. So you like to see that kind of team succeed too, somebody that hasn't seen success in a while. The NFC divisional round, 49ers will play at the Packers. That's going to be a good game. After watching this 49ers team, they were legit. I mean, they kind of steamrolled Dallas in that first half.
Yeah, I think they'll get exposed next week, but that's just me.
Well,
they do have a good formula as far as the way their team is constructed and what they're able to do successfully.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is so stupid. It's unbelievable.
He's good, and
so
I hope
good.
it's a good game. I mean, that's
just
what I'm saying.
want good
I hope
games
at
now.
least it's a good game.
I know.
Yeah.
And there wasn't in all those super divisional games. It was like there was like 2 good games, and the rest of them sucked.
I know, which is crazy.
And it sucks when you get so excited. Like I was so excited. I mean, obviously I watched the Cowboys game till the end, but when you get so excited for a matchup like what was the Patriots and the Bills? Like I thought that would kind of be Belichick and blah, and then it was like they just got their doors blown off, and it was over by the second quarter, and you're like, well, this sucks.
Super weird to see.
So
for
I
the
just want good.
Patriots.
I just want good games. Good games.
And Bucks are going to host the Rams. This is the other one in the NFC. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Cowboys off-season wheels are already churning, and there's rumors. Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore both have met with the Broncos already as of the time we're shooting this, and it just seems like probably one or both of them are going to be gone. And then you're just re-racking with your coaching staff, which is just kind of a shame because it felt like a really good staff.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. 22 unrestricted free agents whose contracts will expire in March. That's a lot.
This team will look different. It'll look
a lot.
It'll look different next year. And I think, I think the current coaching staff also has a lot to do with the personnel that they've acquired over the last couple of years. And so, how is that going to affect that? Lots of questions. Plenty of time to watch Cowboys off season. Talk Cowboys. Plenty of time to talk Cowboys off season.
And you know what?
Football.
We're not probably going to do that much here on the Mom Game.
Yeah, if you're coming here for Cowboys off season news, you might want to go
to
elsewhere.
1310 on the dial.
We're
We'll
here
be
for-
beating it down.
We're here for the
To a
blinds
pulp.
that are part of me and
Yes.
pent up aggression.
I want to talk a little bit more sports, but first, a shout out to one of our sponsors here on the Mom Game. And this is one that is near and dear to my heart. I know, Emily, you and I both had our babies at Baylor.
Yep.
I had Ryder there. And right now, voting is open for the best place to have a baby. So we want to give them our endorsement. I thought it was a wonderful experience. I had like a really amazing suite when I gave birth there, and just like so much. Yeah. That's right. I'm rich.
So fancy. You had a suite.
Not really at all. But we did. We had a lot of family that came because this was way pre-COVID, right? And Kelly's family was in town from Canada, and my family. And I'm somebody that wanted people not there when it happened.
Oh, I was about to say.
Not there. Like, everybody watch.
Maybe we need to discuss.
No, not that at all. That was just me and Kelly. I think anybody beyond that is weird. We used to give Jake shit because his wife's mom watched their birth and he acted like it was normal. But afterwards, it was my first baby, all the shit I'd been through. It was just like, let's celebrate it. Like, I wanted champagne and like mostly family there. And Baylor was great to accommodate all of that. The waiting room, they kept everybody posted throughout the whole process. And then we had a big suite with a couch and a TV so people could come in and hang out with us and meet little Ryder. And it was awesome. My doctor was amazing. The nurses were amazing. So that's my personal endorsement. But Baylor wants you to know that they've delivered 1 million first moments, all in preparation for yours. So if you are preggers, think about Baylor, or thinking about getting pregnant, think about Baylor Scott and White. And you can also vote for Baylor Scott and White, Fort Worth Andrews Women's Hospital, in DFW Child's annual Best for Families, Moms, and Babies reader
That
survey.
is where I had both of my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But no suite.
I did not have a suite. It was not that fancy.
But they could have accommodated you if
They
you wanted
could have,
one.
if I was willing to pay the big bucks for that
It wasn't
suite. I
that
definitely
much.
would have. I'm kidding. I don't care.
They're ready for your big moment and everything leading up to it. They can help you out. And make sure and let them know with this reader survey how Baylor, like me, made your big moment a safe, happy, and healthy one. From ultrasound to delivery and beyond, the experienced care team at Baylor Scott and White Fort Worth Andrews Women's Hospital is here to support you every moment of the way. Vote for them as the best place to have a baby. Also, well, go have your baby there. bswhealth.com/vote for BSWH. I'm going to vote for them because of my experience and also because they are working with us here on the Mom Game, and I love that about them.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We couldn't do this without our wonderful sponsors.
No, I should have had a suite with Henry because I was in labor for 34 hours before having an emergency
suite.
C-section.
You needed a little free upgrade there.
I should have. Yeah, it should have been like, oh, if you're going to be in labor for more than 24 hours, you get upgraded to a suite. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll give my feedback.
After 24 hours, you're probably not wanting to move at all.
I'm just kidding.
Like, let's go to this other, like, F
Totally
off.
kidding. The things that they did also too to try to get him to come out naturally or not via a C-section. I mean, nurses whipping my legs around and doing all kinds of like these. You could tell these women knew what they were doing.
Like, and
this
your
was
legs
not
like
their
dead
first.
epidural legs at that point. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's doing this and she's
So one of the
and
weirdest
we got
sensations.
so weird. But yeah, got close, and then finally, as soon as Henry spiked a fever, then it was all Henry spiked a fever or I spiked a fever. I spiked a fever. Anyway,
That's when they were like, you need to get this bad boy out of
yeah, they were like, it's time to go. Which yeah, it was childbirth. I think I'm done with it, actually.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, considering that I only have one ovary right now, is the only female reproductive organ I have.
One
I think
more than me.
Think I'm pretty safe.
Yeah,
pretty safe
for
with
sure.
my one little ovary.
Yeah. So we talk a little hockey.
Yeah, but before we talk about hockey,
yeah.
I want to talk about another one of our sponsors. This one relatively new, Bottle Rover, which is a go-to alcohol delivery app, making it easier than ever to search your favorite liquor, beer, or wine on demand based on your location. Now offering free delivery on orders of over $35. Bottle Rover is a Dallas-based company, an alcohol delivery platform to be exact, that offers free delivery, did I mention this? On orders over $35. Should be pretty easy to hit that $35 mark. Couple bottles of wine, one if you're real fancy.
Yep. Bottle of liquor.
Bottle of liquor, your tequila for your ranch waters.
Yep. You know it.
Yeah, doesn't take long to get over $35. So you can shop your favorite local liquor stores through Bottle Rover, the alcohol on-demand platform that offers free delivery on orders of, what's the magic number?
$35.
$35. So you can shop on bottlerover.com or download their app. From
Download the app if you haven't
Google
yet.
Play or the App Store. Apps. So you know what? I used to think that apps were so overwhelming, like that, but
Everything has an app.
everything has an app, and it just makes life easier. So now you can just go to bottlerover.com or download the app and then click away, and that
Say what you want.
alcohol will show
They'll
up.
find it near your house so they can get it to you quickly.
Yeah, and it also too, not only is it a nice convenience that they're offering, but also too they're supporting these local liquor stores where you can get.
They are. Support local.
Yep,
And they're
support local.
supporting the local podcast.
They are supporting the local podcast, and we are grateful to the kind folks over at Bottle Robber. Bottle Robber. You're not robbing anybody. Thankful to the folks.
They're just going to leave the booth.
Bottle
That's
Rover.
it. They're not going to do anything else.
There will be no robberies.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Emily. So a little bit of Dallas Stars. So this season has just felt so choppy
Oof.
because of the way they're playing and the COVID stuff. So They have, I think, successfully now rescheduled most of the games that were canceled when the team shut down for a couple of weeks, right before Christmas, because so many of the players had COVID. They couldn't field a team.
How many games did they miss, did you just say?
I want to say
6, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like six games.
I mean, it was significant.
Maybe 7. Yeah, it was a lot. They just kept coming, and I wasn't complaining because it meant that my husband was home around the holidays more.
Yeah.
But now I'm complaining because it took away our break that we were going to have in February. There's still a little bit of a break from the 2nd or like the 1st to like the 7th. There's going to be a break in Dallas Stars games, and it's I think when you're going out of town.
Yes.
So we're going to go out of town somewhere, do something.
Oh, fun.
We had some crazy ideas, but I don't think any of those crazy ideas are going to happen. And we're probably going to stay in Texas and go to the Hill Country, which I also love. So, but yeah, enough about me. Back to the Dallas Stars. So the team, I just feel like I haven't been able to get, and a lot of it might be that COVID stuff they've been dealing with before the team shut down. Due to the players having COVID, they were all fighting through. They kept playing because it wasn't COVID, so they could keep playing, but they were all fighting through this flu thing. But they managed to put some wins together, and I feel like this team just has enough going where they can still give you hope. Like, I'm not fully defeated by them yet. Tyler Seguin's kind of coming around, starting to score again after working back from his surgery. And that top line, Joe Pavelski's line, Joe Pavelski's been on fire, leading the way. The goaltending, Jake Ottinger is not playing as well this past couple of weeks as he was to start the season. He actually got pulled in 2 games for the first time in his young NHL career. So you don't like to see that because they had kind of tried to say, hey, we're settling here with Braden Holtby, Jake Ottinger, Ben Bishop is retired, and Anton Hudobin, we're sending down to the AHL. So it felt like they had their 2 goaltenders to kind of move forward. So hopefully they can pick things up a little bit. Holtby also had to deal with COVID. So all that being said, I don't know. Rick Bowness is coming under a lot of fire lately. There was an incident last night I saw right before I went to bed because the team lost at home to Montreal. They were in the game, ended up giving up a few like bad goals, lost 5-3 last night. And that's just one of those games, like you're at home, you're in front of your crowd, you're in the game. You need to figure out a way to win that game and give people kind of hope and confidence moving forward, including the team. They need that confidence. This team needs to have that confidence, and they only get it from winning. After the game, Rick Bowness came under fire a little bit, and I saw a quick thing that was posted where one of the media members asked Tyler Seguin, do you feel like the team right now is still believing and buying everything that Rick Bowness is telling you guys, the head coach? And Tyler kind of like mumbled. I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, but like kind of like that. But it was funny because one of the media outlets that we know well posted real quick, like Tyler Seguin had a 1-word answer for this question, no. And that's not what he said. He didn't say no. He would not just straight up say no to that question. But it was a little bit of a mumble. It wasn't a ringing endorsement of the head coach. And I think people are questioning his coaching methods, saying maybe he's not taking as much of the blame as he needs to, trying to light a fire under the players by continuing to kind of like call them out. It just doesn't feel very good in Stars land right now.
Yeah.
The other big thing that has been a distraction, I think, no one's like saying that outright, but I think it's been a distraction, is John Klingberg. And this is just like a little bit of a personal thing, I guess, for me. Like and you know, we deal with this in sports. It's like you get to know these players and you like them, or maybe you don't like them, but you know them a little bit better because we have interviewed them or we've been around them with our families and all of that. And John Klingberg, when I was starting out with the team as like the rinkside reporter for a couple of years, he was one of my favorites to interview. He'd come mess around, like every single time I was doing the on ice interview, he'd skate by and like do a photo bomb thing. It became this funny thing that we had. Anytime I would do an interview, it'd be like, when's John Klingberg going to skate by? He was just like happy-go-lucky, having fun, just killing it, like defensively on the ice, scoring. He's a very offensive-minded defenseman. That's what makes him so special. And you know, he was the guy on the power play and everything else. This team really relied upon him. Miro came around, Miro Heiskanen, and kind of, I don't know, maybe took a little bit of his thunder. And now John Klingberg is in contract situation with the Dallas Stars. He's a free agent, and the Stars had made him a pretty good long-term offer to stay here, which he declined. He wanted more money. This is just the same old thing we're used to in professional sports. But he was asked about it a couple of weeks ago, and kind of said, this was right after the team had won 2 games in a row. I remember tweeting, like, really, we have to do this right now? Like, can we just enjoy a couple of wins? Because he must have, consulted with his agent, who was like, gave him the green light to like talk about it with the media, and said that he doesn't feel like he's ever been appreciated here. And he doesn't know why the team hasn't made him another offer. He's been waiting. They've kind of like stopped talking to him. So I feel like this isn't going to end well. I think anytime you do that, it kind of pisses off the general manager. Like, if you're airing our dirty laundry, or laundry, it doesn't even have to be dirty, but like to go in front of the media and talk about that. Jim Nill has said, that they're accepting trade offers on him, and he's, I guess, waiting to see what's going to happen, what's going to come down, who's going to offer him a trade. It's sad for me because I like him a lot. He is important to this team. I hope maybe they can figure it out, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen right now. It seems like they're just butting heads a little too much. And I think also the team doesn't feel like he's being a good team player throughout all of this. Like, maybe it's showing up on the ice and some of the way he's playing, not listening to what he's supposed to be doing. So it's just kind of shitty. Also, for me, it's a little bit of bad karma because I asked him to come on the mom game and he didn't.
Oh, so there's some pent-up aggression there.
There's some pent-up
against John Klingberg.
There's some pent-up aggression. Why wouldn't you come on the mom game? Nope. He didn't say no. He just ghosted me. I'm like, come on, dude. We're friends. And he just had a little baby, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about. And right now, I'm not.
But maybe that's why he didn't say yes, because he just had a little baby.
Yeah, but you can reply to a text.
This is true. This is true.
Klinger. So anyway, that's just something going on in Stars world that's making me feel a little bit sad. But it's just part of the deal. I guess if he was up and traded randomly and all of this hadn't been brought to the forefront, it'd just be like, well, John Klingberg was traded, But now that I kind of know the way that it's going back and forth and the way he's acting and all of this, it makes me feel sad. But regardless of all of the John Klingberg stuff, I'm also just a little worried about my team right now in this season. And it's a little bit of a sad kind of feeling overall with DFW sports. Like, there's no one you can really get excited about right now.
The Mavs are playing really well. The Mavs are playing. They've won like 10 of 11 or something.
Yeah. 10 of 11?
They've won a lot of games.
I know they've picked it up and won a few more.
They've won like 9 of 10 or 10 of 11.
Yeah, and it was interesting how that happened because they were starting to win without.
Or maybe I just made that up.
No, they have won a few. I don't know about 10 of 11.
I'm going to find out.
You find out. But yeah, they're still in the middle of their season and a lot can change. I think they're playing a lot better defensively lately, which is huge. They've had some of the younger guys kind of step up when guys like Luka or KP were unavailable due to injuries or COVID. But my biggest worry with the Mavs is Luka and KP and injuries. KP just hasn't been able to play enough. When he does, he's good. Same with Luka. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they're like gonna, I don't know. I'll be a little bit surprised if they make the playoffs.
Who?
Dallas?
The Mavericks?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll make the playoffs?
I hope. I don't know.
I would put lots of money on the Mavericks making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a super high seed.
Yeah.
But I think, they're 5th in the West right now.
Okay.
25-19, 6 games below 500, 9-1 in their last 10.
9-1 in their last 10. Well, that's good. 6 games below 500 isn't that good.
6 games above 500.
Oh, well then,
did I say below? Sorry,
yeah, you did. But
above.
no, that's good. That's good. I'm happy to be wrong here and a little bit surprised because they have been stringing some wins together.
So like the Lakers are 22-22 and they're in the 8th spot right now. Or 22-20. No, 22 and they're 22-22 and in the 8th spot.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, there's a lot of basketball left to be played.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm excited about them though, is kind of all I was saying, but maybe I should be.
Yeah. I think you're probably still having a little bit of a Cowboys hangover because we were excited about them.
Yeah, we were. And then the Stars is bad.
Yeah.
And then give us an update on baseball. What's happening?
Yeah. Oh, we're still locked out. Like, nothing. The only thing I'm remotely glad about is it does seem like, reports have come out. They met last week. apparently far apart, but I don't feel like there's this constant back and forth that's a really, really bad look for the game. I feel like they've kind of stayed away from that a little bit. So that makes me encouraged. But there's just no, it's like, every guy that plays baseball and his family and their coaches and all that kind of stuff, everyone's in this just giant holding pattern.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to spring training. I don't know if the season's going to start on time. I don't know if spring training is going to start on time. There's just, everything is up in the air. And for me, it's like, okay, it's one thing. I'm a, field reporter or whatever. I mean, you think about these families, like these women who have, both of them have children, obviously, but like, usually it's like what happens is that these guys are like, okay, I've got to go do this. Now you got to figure out where we're going to live and you're going to pull kids out of school. I mean, I've always said this. I have mad respect for, the wives of professional athletes and especially those in baseball. It's just unlike any other sport with the trade deadline and the off seasons and the spring trainings it's just a lot. And so I feel for those people. So I'm definitely trying not to bitch because I have one person to worry about and that's myself. And, regardless of what happens with the baseball season, I'm not uprooting my family and all that kind of stuff, but we're just in a giant holding pattern. I have zero intel on it. I'm hopeful that maybe we'll start spring training late, but that we'll still be able to start the season on time. But I have zero, like I said, insight into that.
When's it supposed to start? Like if nothing was pushed
like
back?
1st of April.
Okay.
End of March, 1st of April. Oh, are you talking about the season or spring training?
Both.
So spring training, you're talking about like pitchers and catchers around Valentine's Day.
Okay, so that would be
you're less than a month away.
Soon, yeah.
And then pretty much everyone else trickles in after that. And the beginning of the season is 6 weeks later. So,
gotcha.
I mean, there's still time to get something done without it impacting things too greatly. But
I feel like they will.
Yeah, I hope so. I love your optimism.
Yeah, I'm going to try to be optimistic there.
There you go. Okay, I think that is it for this week and my pent up aggression and your blinds are a part of you.
My blinds are a part of me. Don't mess with my blinds.
No, I'm not going to. So yeah, it's a great show.
New stuff, fun stuff on the way. Like we always like to talk about.
Mom Minute.
The Mom Minute. Emily's going to have a big one. Maybe she'll
I'm
bitch about me on her Mom Minute and get out some of her pent up aggression in her Mom Minute. Hoping we have a special guest next week that I'm pretty excited about. Do we say? I don't know. Let's hold it.
Yeah.
Hoping that we have that guest who is fresh off of a tournament in his sport overseas.
There you go.
And yeah, we're just going to keep on rolling. A couple of
Is
shows.
it Andy Roddick?
It's not, but we should try to get him.
I used to have a giant crush on him.
I had a giant crush on Andy Roddick.
You did?
Uh-huh.
We should have him on and ask him which one of us he would have dated when we were all single.
Brooklyn Decker would love that.
Talking about like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm being like, hey,
who do you think he would
make your choice? Andy Roddick, me or Julie?
I want to know.
I think he's probably into blondes.
You think? Because of Brooklyn?
And you're so much fucking younger than me. Like you got a lot of.
Right. That's right. I'm going to own it.
You are
That's right, Andy. I'm your choice. Pick me.
So,
I used to call because I grew up in Austin, right? And so
I think I remember you telling me this story.
Yeah. Or I actually told it on the radio. I used to call 411. Is that still a thing where you can get people's phone numbers?
Yeah.
Probably.
You asked for Andy Roddick's phone number?
I asked for Andy Roddick's phone number.
So
like, because I was going to call him and be like, you want to go to West 6th Street, bro? Like, you want to go to the ranch? That was the name of my favorite bar.
What were you going to say if he ever answered the phone?
He asked me if he wanted to go to 6th Street. Have a few brews.
How old were you?
I want to say I don't remember if I was in high school or if I was coming back to Austin from college.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely need to have Andy Roddick on.
Yeah, we do.
We need to tell him this stuff.
He
needs to know.
Our dream list. I know we haven't hit many of those from our dream list.
We haven't.
Dirk apparently back in Europe. He did like all the media in the world.
All of it.
And now he's back home. So thanks, Dirk. Thanks for nothing.
Well, Dirk. You know who else? I'm going to put someone else on there.
Yeah.
And I actually shot him a DM yesterday.
Oh.
Troy. I want Troy Aikman on because talk about an embarrassing story that I could tell him.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm proud of you for shooting him a DM.
I did. Well, but I actually kind of know him. He's
got that beer coming out.
Right, and that's what. So I saw him
get him
post
when they
about
wanna
it, and I
promote
was like,
something.
"Hey, you could always come on the mom game.
Yeah. Get in front of
about
some moms.
Right. But yeah.
Now we're Fox Bros for a while.
We were. We did the children's cancer lunch for a while, which he and Roger were like the honorary chairs for so many years, may still be. And I remember Troy and Roger were like behind me one time or in front of me, and I walked up and Roger knew who I was, and I literally almost shit my pants.
Really?
Like he knew my name.
Yeah.
And I immediately
That's awesome.
when I got in the car after that thing, I called my dad and I was like, "You're never gonna believe this. Roger Staubach knows my name." And he was like, "What?" And then I ended up doing a couple of events with Roger where we did a Q&A, and he could not be a nicer human being. We should have Roger on.
We should have him on. I mean, yeah.
Captain America.
Of course. And we've got listeners of all ages. We could talk about, I don't know, I'm assuming he's a grandpa, dad, all that stuff.
Not to mention like a ridiculously successful businessman.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh, God.
Talk about like taking what you've done in your career and making a whole like life career out of it. What you've done on the field.
Okay, Roger.
You and Troy are both doing that. Are both really good at
we
that.
should have Troy and Roger on together.
Okay. Big dreams here on the Mom Game.
All right,
Let's get one of them though. One of the two. And Andy Roddick.
I'm gonna go.
And he'll pick us.
Okay.
He'll pick me.
I know he will. I would never even put myself in that position.
He would like my blinds.
Okay, now who brought it up? All right. Okay, next week, cool guest, and then great things coming.
Yes.
100th episode. We haven't even drank today.
We haven't.
100th episode is a
episode.
couple weeks away. Well,
we're gonna have a big party.
We're gonna blow it out.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it out. We probably, we always
fun.
like say, "We've only had one glass on this show." No,
we're gonna
have a lot.
All in.
It's gonna be fun.
Okay, all right. Thanks for being with us. Episode 97 in the books.
Thanks for sticking with me.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Julie and her blinds will be back next week.
I'm gonna do all my mom minutes in front of my blinds.
Mom game out.
Mom game out.
Stupid fucking blinds.